Hello, dear investors and traders. Project with you System.GURU.Markets. We start with general information about the company. A little further, we will study each parameter in more detail. If necessary, you can pause the video. You can study all the indicators of the company under study more carefully. Now we will compare the main indicators of the company with you Upstart Holdings Inc., ticker UPST. The review was created using current data as of April 3, 2025. According to Classification Guru, Markets company Upstart Holdings Incorporated belongs to the subcategory. Loans, 66 organizations participate in the analysis. This is very representative. Look for the table of orders at the end of the video. The result for the company in question, minus 7.5 out of 10 points. The average score for the subcategory is 0.4 points. If you look very broadly, within the entire US stock market in aggregate, we'll see the average score for the entire stock market as a whole is 1.9 points. Against a score of minus 7.5 points for the company Upstart Holdings Inc. Comparing the dynamics of the company's share price Upstart Holdings Incorporated and subcategory shares, we will see that over the last 12 months stocks Upstart Holdings Incorporated showed a change of 80.2%. 32.1% are against price changes in the subcategory. This does not clearly indicate anything, but it is necessary to take note of this fact. Market capitalization of the company Upstart Holdings Inc. is $4.46 billion. Market capitalization of the subcategory is $242 billion. Upstart Holdings Inc. accounts for a share of 1.846%. This is one of the small companies in the subcategory. The company's balance sheet capitalization is $0.63 billion. And the capitalization of the subcategory is $128 billion. Upstart Holdings Inc. accounts for a share of 0.488%. Having made a comparison of the shares of the exchange and book value, we can see the following. Occupied share Upstart Holdings Inc. in the subcategory in case of market capitalization assessment is 1.846%. The balance sheet capitalization is 0.488%. This is 74% less than the share of stock market capitalization. Assessment of the organization's share of market and book value in the subcategory, bad, minus 1 point. The company's debt obligations amount to $1.52 billion. Financial liabilities to book value amount to 241.3% of capital. Result on the company's debt level, very bad, minus 2 points. The balance of the company's market value to profit is 0. While the average in the subcategory is 19.1, which is worse than the average in the subcategory. Assessment of the stock price to profit ratio in comparison with companies in the subcategory, very bad, minus 2 points. Profit for the last 12 months was minus $128 million. Projected earnings for the next 12 months are unknown. And this is negative for the company. Assessment of expected future profit indicators in comparison with in the subcategory, good, 1 point. The company's value to revenue ratio is 7. The average for the subcategory is 1.7, which is 312% higher than for the subcategory. Assessment of the company's market price to its revenue in comparison with indicators in the subcategory, bad, minus 1 point. Revenue for the last 12 months was $640 million. Future revenue for the next 12 months is unknown. which is extremely bad for the company's prospects. Assessment of expected future sales indicators in comparison with indicators in the subcategory, bad, -1 point. The sales margin is -20.2%, with an average in the subcategory of 8.9%. The difference between the subcategory average and the company's performance is 29.1%. Assessment of sales margins in comparison with indicators in the subcategory, tolerable, -0.5 points. The company's share in terms of the number of employees in the subcategory is 0.572%. This is 223% less than the share of market capitalization. And this shows the discrepancy between the current stock market value of the company Upstart Holdings Inc., most likely towards revaluation. The amount of market capital for each employee of the organization is equal to $3,741,000, whereas for the subcategory, $1,160,000. The difference between the subcategory average and the company's performance is 222.5%. Assessment of the amount of the company's market capital per employee in comparison with indicators in the subcategory, tolerable, 0 points. The amount of profit per individual employee of the company is -$107,700, with the average for the subcategory, $60,700. And the difference between the average for the subcategory and the company's indicators is 77%. Assessment of the company's profit per employee in comparison with the indicators of companies in the subcategory, tolerable, -0.5 points. The amount of revenue per individual employee of the organization is $534,000. By subcategory, $683,000. The difference between the subcategory average and the company's performance is 28%. Estimation of sales volume per individual employee in comparison with the indicators of companies in the subcategory, tolerable, -0.5 points. The volume of sales transactions corresponds to 22.5%, with an average for the subcategory of 7.3%. This is an assessment of the possible risk of a short squeeze. Technical indicator RSI 14 shows a level of 39% for the company Upstart Holdings Inc. While for the subcategory the RSI level, 14, is approximately 51%. Potentially, shares of the subcategory are valued higher than Upstart Holdings Inc. The company's current stock price is approximately $47.64. The consensus price estimate for the company's shares is approximately $76.44. The difference between the actual estimate and the consensus forecast is approximately 60%. Let's go to the order table, which is available to you. The link is in the pinned comment. The order table contains absolutely all decisions publicly made this season using a reference evaluation system Guru.Markets. Access to the order table is free. Link in pinned comment. As a result of the valuation of the company's securities Upstart Holdings Inc. Information and reference assessment system Guru.Markets, a decision is made. Open an order to fall at a price of $47.63 per share. The deal was opened because the company has a fairly low valuation. The company was assessed using the assessment methodology, the Akeem's Index. Take profit is set at 33.87. Stop loss is set at 61.39. In case the order is not closed by take profit or stop loss, then the order is fixed automatically at the end of the trading session on May 3, 2025, or on the last working day before this date. Ticker SYF will be the main buy order. The video on the main deal has already been published on the channel. When closing one of the orders, basic or balancing, the opposite order is closed automatically. Thank you all for watching this video and using the information system Guru Markets.